Alrighty, everybody, welcome back from break. If you're watching on stream, hopefully you had a good break. If you're watching on YouTube, this is part 2 of Ask the King episode 78. I hope that you will come back, I hope you will check out part 1, which is already on demand on YouTube, on the King of Hate Vlogs, or King of Hate Vlogging, or DS. I don't even know what the hell my channel is anymore. That's pretty bad. I post up so few vlogs, I can't even remember what the hell the name of my channel is anymore on YouTube. Alright, so hopefully you checked out part 1. It's time for part 2. Let's jump right back into it. Actually, we had a cheer from Philly Buckeye, who says, according to all known laws of aviation, there's no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its little fat body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Alright, very nice. Exciting. Thank you for the cheer. Let's continue, shall we? So our first question back from break is from CJ Extreme 98. And he asked the following. He said, if you could combine any 2 Street Fighter games to make the perfect one, what would the 2 games be? For example, Street Fighter V's graphics with Super Turbo's gameplay. In this hypothetical scenario, the game wouldn't be choppy. I don't know if essentially I can answer this 100%. What I can tell you is, I actually like Street Fighter 4's graphics better than Street Fighter 5. I think Street Fighter 5 just looks really weird. Like, some characters look realistic and good, and other characters look insanely cartoony and fucking stupid, right? Like, Blanca looks like a joke. Or how about, what's his name? Abel or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, the insanely huge, monstrous guy that there's no way could possibly exist in real life. Then you have, like, realistic Ryu. And you're looking at it like, what the fuck is this? Like, I actually don't like Street Fighter V's graphics at all. If we were talking, 3D graphics, Street Fighter 4, I think was much better looking than Street Fighter 5. So if they just took that same graphical engine but updated it to have more effects and have more detail in the characters, I think that it would actually be better. Gameplay, of course, I'm going to say Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, because I still feel like that's the best Street Fighter game of all time. But maybe with a new gameplay element, because I think that it is a very basic game, so maybe having like 1 or 2 new gameplay elements in the game could change. Like, for example, Super Turbo only has a super meter, and some characters' supers are great and some are terrible. So instead of that, make it so that there's other uses for the super meter. Maybe Super Turbo with some EX moves, where you could use your super meter in 3 increments to do more powerful moves, or maybe Super Turbo with an alpha counter. So if you're getting completely locked or rushed down by a character, they have a chance to block and reverse out of the corner. So that way characters who typically get rushed down and stuck can actually get out of the situations. Like Bison in particular in that game gets completely destroyed because he has no true reversal. So maybe adding in modern gameplay elements to the game, but still having it play like old school Super Turbo would be pretty cool with Street Fighter 4 graphics. Now, if you really want me to answer the question honestly, I want 2D art again. I want someone to hand draw gorgeous artwork, tons of frames, make it like the old school Street Fighter, but like really HD graphics, like out the ass, the most amazing looking hand-drawn fighting game you've ever seen in your life. But as you know, it's time consuming, it's expensive, and it's much easier for them to just make 3D models, so they're just going to do that. I doubt we're ever going to see a 2D handheld or hand-drawn fighting game ever again. So, okay. Insomniatic Meat did a 200-bit cheer. That actually makes Insomniatic Meat the top cheerer of the day. Thank you for that, Insomniatic Meat. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Oops. There you go. Alright, continuing on here. Moria asks, will it be possible for you to disclose Jasper's medical record with the procedures he went through while he was with his previous owner? So Jasper is my cat, who just a couple months ago I revealed I have a cat and had a cat for a while. A lot of people were shocked by that. And some people have brought his medical history into question because he is front declawed, and of course I told everyone about that right early on. And some people accuse me of doing it, and some people have wanted evidence to make sure that I wasn't the one who declawed him. First of all, I would never declaw a cat. It's one of the worst things you could do to a cat because a cat needs its claws, number 1, for protection, and number 2, to feel safe. Without its front claws, it can actually have, like, psychological problems, okay? One of the reasons that Jasper was at the rescue shelter so long was because he didn't have his front claws. People wanted cats that had intact claws, and a lot of people see things as very inhumane. to declaw a cat. I agree. I would never do that. But you know the assholes out there, just because I have a declawed cat, it must mean that I really did it because I'm a horrible person, so let's try to do everything we can. And these idiots actually went around looking to try to say that I had stolen Jasper from people in Washington, and let's find information to prove that Phil declawed this cat. Of course, none exists because I didn't. Just insane, crazy shit. Okay? So Mora Moria actually had contacted me and said, Phil, if I ask you this question and I ask the king, what could you provide? All right, I said, you want me to be honest? I'll look it up. So I did. All right, so here's what I've got. I just have very basic paperwork stating that Jasper came from a Nebraska rescue shelter. It doesn't state his previous owners. It doesn't state what's been done to him previously. All it says is that he's from Nebraska and they have a rabies certificate approving that he had his rabies shot. So he was basically made so that he doesn't get rabies, which you need in order to actually have a cat that you give or let someone adopt or rescue or whatever. You have to have that proper documentation, because if that cat has rabies and you give it to someone and they get bitten, you get big financial liability, okay? In addition, that paperwork basically said, you know, no like visible indication of genitalia, therefore we think that he's been neutered, you know, because he doesn't have that, you know, he doesn't have anything going on with his genitalia or anything like that. Looks exactly like he had been neutered, okay? So that's the thing, but they don't even have records that he was neutered. They don't know where he was neutered or anything. Essentially, I guess this cat, what we're thinking, this is what we're thinking about Jasper. He had an owner, the owner declawed him, and for whatever reason that still wasn't enough, still wasn't satisfied with the cat, and basically just let him go. And probably he was picked up on the street and brought to a shelter in Nebraska, where he probably stayed for a while. Why on earth he was transferred from Nebraska to Washington State is anyone's guess. No one even knew at the shelter that we got him from here in Washington State why he had been transferred, just that he was here, and here's the paperwork we have. You know, they even told us, you know, one of the liabilities of getting a cat like this is that they don't test for cat leukemia, and he might have leukemia, but, you know, leukemia is incredibly expensive to test for and then treat. But they saw zero indications that he had it, so just know up front they didn't test for it, but he might have it, you know, because they didn't test for it. But that's it. Like, there's nothing. We have no paperwork stating who previously owned him, where in Nebraska it was, if it was in Nebraska, any other medical procedures that have been done to him. I wish we did, but we have absolutely nothing to really say anything. The new paperwork that came from this current shelter that we got him from said, don't worry, we tested him for basic stuff. Seems like he has nothing wrong with him. You know, visibly there was nothing wrong. The only thing was that when he first came into the shelter, apparently he sneezed a lot, but then they said it cleared up. So funny thing, when we first took in Jasper, he was sneezing a lot. For about 2 weeks when we first got him, he was walking around the house sneezing constantly, and then all of a sudden, he stopped doing it. And what we think it is that he may have like some nasal allergies, where if he's in a new area, a new kind of dust or new kind of whatever, he sneezes a bit. But once his body's immune system gets used to that situation, it doesn't bother him anymore. And it's actually funny because I had the same situation, but not sneezing, but itching. When we first got Jasper, for 2 weeks, I was itching on certain parts of my body. I was feeling this like crazy itch, and then it went away. So I think that I might have had like a minor cat allergy, but because he stayed in the house and basically my body built up an immunity to cat dander, and now I don't have that problem anymore. So it was kind of like a two-way thing. But the truth of the matter is, no, I have nothing, and this was funny. Phil must have declawed that cat because he's not showing us proof to the contrary. That's not the case, and much like most things that my asshole detractors say about me, they try to get me into a situation where I couldn't disprove the things that they say, but you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law in the United States. So all the crazy shit, the speculation and nonsense that they say, just because I can't prove the contrary, doesn't mean that what they say is true. You know, they say I make up things about my taxes and I make up well, Phil never showed us evidence of the tax. It's like, do you want me to pull up actual paperwork from the tax office with my fucking information and everything on it and show it to you, and now I'll be in trouble because my public information is out and people can use that to fuck with me? No, blur it out. Okay, I'll blur it out, but now you could say that I made it up because there's no information that's proving anything because I blurred it all out. You see what I mean? Like, these people do this to create a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. So no matter what, it looks like Phil's fishy. And the truth of the matter is, a logical adult, when you reach a certain level of wisdom and maturity, realizes that when people usually make these kind of arguments, it's because they know there's no way that the person could logically prove anything. How could I prove that a cat that has no medical records coming from the state of Nebraska where he came from, that I didn't declaw this cat? I can't. You know, what I can tell you is you'll never find any evidence of any doctor or anyone ever saying that they did it, because I didn't do it. I didn't, I never did that. And apparently the evidence doesn't exist. So I love how people will just immediately defaults to me being the villain, right? But the thing is, hold on a second here. Mark. I want to unban someone because someone actually contacted me to be unbanned during the stream and I completely forgot about it. I'm going to do that right now while it's hot on my mind here. But that's the truth, And I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I can't prove to you guys anything one way or the other. There's going to be some people who believe me. There's going to be some people who don't believe me, And the truth of the matter is, if you like me and you like my content and you like me as a person and a streamer, you'll believe me, because I've never shown any evidence of anything of being cruel to animals. I absolutely love animals. My life, that's a lifelong thing for me. That I'm a lover of animals. I absolutely love having pets. I love, having animals around. I love going visit. I love zoos. I love pet stores. I've always been that way. I would never actively do anything to hurt an animal. So, the fact that people... Here's the other thing, too, is he has his back claws. I have scratches all over my body. I have a scratch right here that's probably going to become a scar because he scratched the shit out of me the other week on stream. He jumped and went and scratched my leg bad. He scratched me over here. One morning I was asleep. He jumped on my leg and went right into my leg, and I was bleeding badly for about an hour. I had to try. I was like, damn, he got me good, man. If that were the case, why wouldn't I back declaw him too? He's scratching the shit out of me, but I'm not going to, because I'm not a cruel asshole. I'll live with it. What are you going to do, right? All right, so anyway, that's the deal, Mora Moria. I wish that I had better information. I wish that I could prove what I say, but that's the truth of the matter, is when people make shit up about you, they do it because they usually know that there's no way you could disprove what they're saying without taking great personal risk. I can't prove what I say about my taxes, because then I take great personal risk that people could get personal information about me and fuck with me, so I'm not going to do that. I can't prove that I didn't declaw Jasper, because there's no record of any of his medical shit at all, except for when he hit the shelter here in Washington State. But they will then say, well, you see, there you go. No, that's not how life works. In life, the accuser doesn't 100% always get saying, well, if you don't disprove it's true. It's the opposite. If you can't prove, it's fucking false. Or else anyone could say anything about anyone. I could walk up to your house today and say, you stole $1,000 from me. And you could be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I never met you or nothing. Well, unless you have evidence to say that you didn't steal $1,000, that's it. I'm taking you to court, buddy. See what I mean? Doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's how these people treat it on the internet. Okay. Let's continue. Next question is from R.J. Nickens. And says, what are your thoughts on the recent Joker movie controversy in which people are saying the movie is dangerous and could inspire evil or violence, especially in people who are more susceptible to such influence? Maybe give your thoughts on people saying certain games or movies are responsible for acts of violence or terrorism. This is the same argument we've heard over the years. It's the scapegoat argument. It's, oh shit, we have people in real life who are doing messed up stuff. We have to find the scapegoat. We have to find the scapegoat to pin this on so that we can have a quick solution or a quick band-aid to fix it, rather than actually getting to the root cause of the problem. All right, last time I checked, there have been many movies about bad things that people don't just start doing. There's been many movies out there about drugs, but not everyone ran out and immediately stuck an IV in their arm and started shooting up. There have been many movies about bank robberies. I'm not aware that everyone just ran out and there was a big stint of bank robberies that people just couldn't control themselves. There's been many movies about brutal killers. When Friday the 13th come out, I'm pretty sure there wasn't thousands of people putting on hockey masks, taking out machetes, and chopping people apart. This didn't happen, okay? Because we can separate the realm of reality from fantasy. We have this morality code of what's right and wrong. We all want to continue to live and realize that if you do insane things, you're probably going to lose your life or end up in jail for the rest of your life. And you want to continue to have a fun, profitable, entertaining, fruitful, positive life, right? Am I right? What's happening in our society is there's people that don't want that. There's people that are so screwed up in the head that to get 5 minutes of fame, I'll just go kill a bunch of people with a gun and kill myself, and that's what I wanted. It's like, that's not logical thinking. That's not a brain that's connected correctly. That's a mentally ill brain that doesn't know what it's doing because it's nuts, okay? What we have is an epidemic of crazy people who are bringing out there and doing crazy things, all right? Now, instead of saying, why are these people becoming crazy? What's going on with society as a whole that we have a string of people now that there's these mass shootings all the time, school shootings? It's fucked up. What's going on in society that we have these people? Can we case study these people to find out what created that mentality in their head? Is there a breakout of mental illness because culture has changed in the last 20 years? Pop culture, internet culture, is it creating these people through the changes that have happened to the world and the culture? But instead, all right, instead of looking at the root cause of this problem, which is obviously the people are fucked up in the head, let's all look at all these stupid Band-Aid solutions and everything. We're going to blame the guns. We're going to blame the TV. We're going to blame the video games. We're going to blame the music. We're going to blame that there wasn't enough security at the school. We're going to blame this and that and this and that, you know? And essentially, are there things that we could do to stop this behavior immediately? I mean, there's people who, I'm not going to get into the politics of the gun argument. There are some people arguing that we have to do something because the people who are able to go crazy and go on these mass killing sprees, like a super villain, right, are having access to weapons that they shouldn't have access to. And other people disagree. No, people should have access to those weapons. I'm not here to hash that argument out with all of you. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, there's definitely some things that the American government could do to at least temporarily stave the bleeding, as they say, the Band-Aid solution. They refuse to do it. Because to them, that would, number one, not solve the problem, and number two, hurt their constituents. Or people in my government in the United States are so afraid of having like the gun and the NRA or people who own guns be so angry at them that they refuse to take any action against guns whatsoever. And I think that there's wrong thinking on both sides. There's some people who outright want no guns. There's people who want unlimited guns. There's people who want medium things in the middle. For me, there's got to be something that happened in the government to help the problem. There has to be. Instead of everyone just saying, well, we don't know what it is, oh well, and acting like there's no problem. The real problem is, you hear about, oh, the Joker movie is going to come out, and we're afraid it's going to cause everyone to go on a killing spree. Right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why are we even thinking this? Why in 2019 are we afraid that we put out a movie about someone becoming a mentally ill criminal? And now people will immediately emulate that, and there'll be a stint of Joker murders. Why are we thinking that? Why instead can't we think, what's changed in our society that's creating these people who are fucked up in the head? Let's get to the root cause of that and study it and solve it, right? What is it that's creating this mentality? Because there's been a million movies like this before that were never an issue. All of a sudden now the Joker movie's an issue. Why? It's not the movie that's the problem. It's what's creating the people doing these fucked up things in reality that's the problem. Because before, everyone could separate fantasy from reality, and now all of a sudden there's these weirdos who are going out there and doing this stuff that can't separate it. Why? What changed? And that's what really has to happen. But is anyone doing that research right now? Or are we all arguing about guns and arguing about movies and TV and video games and looking for scapegoats rather than actually going to the root cause and solving the problem of what's causing the people to have these breaks mentally and doing fucked up, really messed up, disgusting, degenerate, mentally ill things? Right? I mean, am I wrong? What do you guys think? To me, that seems like what we should all be doing. But why? Do you hear? Oh, we did research into the mass killers of the last 10 years, how bad it's gotten, and we found these commonalities, and this is maybe what we could do to fix things. Instead, all I hear is, it's guns, it's not guns, it's movies, it's TV, it's not movies, it's not TV, it's games, it's not games. Okay, enough scapegoats. Normal people don't do this. I'm not going to go see the Joker movie and immediately run out there and start slaughtering people, so obviously there's a difference between me and the person who did it. What's that difference? Figure it out, then we can start to attack the problem. At least that's my opinion. Okay. Shout out to Smokey Wood, who did a 300-bit cheers. Says, are you hyped for Outer Worlds? Yes, I am. Outer Worlds, the next game coming out from Obsidian, the same company that made Fallout New Vegas. Looks like it's going to be great, and I am very excited for that next month. It's in a little more than a month. Actually, as of today, it's in exactly 1 month. No, I take that back. It is a little less than a month. It's not 29 days. Ruggies has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Ruggies, for the sub. I appreciate that. Okay. Wow, excuse me. Let's continue on here. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I answered the question. I'm starting a new page here. All right, moving on. This question is from Richie7. He says, in your opinion, are loot boxes or similar in-game random purchasing systems gambling? Companies like EA say they are no different than, say, opening a pack of baseball cards or Kinder Eggs. Others argue that they are actual gambling and come with all the possible addictions and psychological effects. Do you think there's any sort of regulation, like age restrictions, on these in-game mechanics, or should companies be able to monetize their games any way they want? I'm interested to hear your opinion as a professional gamer on this topic. They are 100% gambling. 100%. The difference is, what are you gambling for? And the reason that there's regulation on the gaming industry as a whole when it comes to casinos and online gambling, like online poker, is because there's transactions of money involved. All right? But for some reason, we seem to have a hard time recognizing gambling when it's gambling for things that aren't monetary, even though it happens all the time. You go back, buy a pack of baseball cards. You have no idea what's going to be in that randomized pack of baseball cards. You are spending money for a chance at something that you might or might not want. It might have intrinsic value to you. It might also have value to a collector as a sale later on. So that's gambling. You go into a mobile game on your phone, and in your mobile game, it says, buy this pack of cards, and you have a chance to get the featured card, who's the new character in the game that has all these amazing abilities that you need to do a special event that gives big rewards. Oh, by the way, the chance is so negligible that you would ever get that character, but some people will get lucky and get them. More than likely, you're just going to drop money after money after money and get a bunch of crap you don't need, but that's okay because, you know, it's not money that you get as a reward, so why should this be regulated, right? It's pretty crazy when you think about it. Loot boxes in sports games, you know, again, to get their characters for Ultimate Team or whatever it is. And then you've got things that maybe, okay, some people say that loot boxes in games are bad when it comes to things that can get you ahead in the game. If you're going to get that character, you're going to get that player, you're going to get that item that's going to allow you to get better in the game or beat the game more quickly or get ahead in an online community, that's messed up. But what about just physical thing? What if, oh, I did a loot box and now Phil doesn't wear the cowboy hat anymore. Now he wears a dirty slipper on his head, right? Wow, what a great loot box that was. Oops, well, no one wants the fucking dirty slipper. They were all going for the cowboy hat, but you ended up dropping $100 and never got the goddamn cowboy hat, but you got 400 dirty slippers, right? It's gambling. It's fucking gambling. There's no difference between that and any other kind of gambling. It's just that there's no monetary reward. So for some reason, when it comes to regulating it, you know, for being fair, when it comes to regulating it for you know, outcomes, we don't regulate it the same way that we regulate casinos or other kind of online gambling. All right. So all that, you know, the situation we're coming across now is gaming still, when you really think about it as an entertainment form, is in its infancy. It's only gaming, actual video games have only been viable as like something that people would do at home, and you know, we'd be a big money-making industry for about 20 years, roughly. I'd say it was around the mid-90s when things like the Super NES, the Genesis started selling a ridiculous amount, and now all of a sudden you have PlayStation, boom, big money. Now gaming is the biggest industry in the world, more than movies, more than television, more than music, and now all of a sudden people start recognizing it. Only now we realize these practices have been around for a long time, and we start to realize how messed up they are. You know, how many kids want to play Fortnite and they beg their parents to use their credit cards for another randomized drop of loot so I can maybe get the fucking unicorn outfit that I want, rather than being able to just purchase it outright, right? And really, the reason that people spend so much money on these games, mobile games in particular, are the biggest. Even though people to this day are saying, oh, it's games like Madden and games like that that are really bad. This shit, the mobile gaming industry, almost every fucking game on a mobile phone has this model, where we will give you the game for free with very limited content, but if you want to progress at all, you gotta spend, and they hook you. They actually do things to cause addiction. They will sell you a $5 pack of value, so you get a ton of value out of this $5 pack that's only available once for $5. If you want that same value, you have to spend $20 again. Oh, by the way, if you keep spending, now you have an increased chance to get the character that you want, or you now get the crafting items you need to craft the special card or armor piece or whatever you need to beat the stage so you can progress and keep playing the game, and it becomes this gotta keep spending mentality that wraps you into this model that never ends. You know, most mobile games don't even have an ending. There's no, oh, I beat it. It's instead endless events, endless things to do to keep spending. That is the penultimate form of gambling. There's no end game. When you're gambling for monetary value, eventually you hit the jackpot. You don't have to gamble anymore. You're rich. There's no end to this. You will keep spending forever and never reach the end. You'll never, you know what I mean? It's actually the endless golden goose for these game manufacturers, and somehow this isn't regulated, but the casino is. That's crazy to me. Like, to me, it's 1,000,000% gambling, and it needs to be regulated ASAP. And now you may say, did I say penultimate? What I meant to say was the ultimate, the final thing, not the next to last thing. I didn't mean to say penultimate. So I'm sorry. Thank you, Chad Warden, for calling me an idiot instead of just being nice about it. You're a real dickhead. Okay. But anyway, this could be worse than the gambling. When you go to the casino and you blow all your money, it's visible that you did it, right? This, imagine that you're just draining your bank account, you're draining your fucking credit card, you're draining stuff behind the scenes, and no one's the wiser what the hell's going on. This is more fucked up in my opinion. And of course, you know, the microtransactions, the loot boxes in console games is just as bad, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's the worst. That's the absolute worst. And it needs to be regulated in my opinion. I wholeheartedly agree. Now you may say, but wait a minute, but the whole gaming industry is now based off of this, so what's going to happen? I don't fucking care. That's their fault for building their whole industry off of dishonesty, addiction, and fucked up deceptive practices, you know? Every single time that you go to buy a microtransaction in a game, they should have to disclose publicly the chances of you getting anything. They should. They should literally say, well, if you buy this loot pack, you have a 1 in a million chance of getting what you actually want. You know, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting garbage. So that way people will be like, fuck, I'm not going to spend that. Maybe what would happen is, if people really realized the odds of what they were doing, the chances of them dropping money would be so infinitesimal that then the company would say, okay, we have to up the chances of you getting the good thing, which means people wouldn't repeat spend. You see what I mean? So there you go. That's my opinion. Is yes, it needs to be regulated. Yes, it is gambling, and yes, it is a problem. Is it as much of a problem as people are making it out to be with children? That I couldn't answer. I don't know how children are getting such crazy access to payment structures. How are you getting access to your parents' bank account that you can dump $4,000 into Fortnite a month? I don't understand that. Unless the parent is such an absentee parent that they're like, I don't want to deal with this kid. I just give you an unlimited bankroll. Just do whatever you want. That could really be bad. I mean, regardless if it was them spending money in Fortnite or buying whatever they wanted online, it's just as bad in my opinion. But I think in general, just humans, forget children, humans shouldn't be subjected to this gambling. It's bad. It's an addiction. It could hook you. It could be an illness that you can't stop. If we have compulsive gambling in casinos and cards and stuff, it's the same thing in this. Why can't we stop it? Why can't we regulate it? It's got to stop, in my opinion. But what can I say, right? Mark Murphy just tipped $6. Said, I agree with your loot box point. They should just charge a flat-out fee for loot, telling you exactly what you get, but not offering any advantage to those players who don't buy. There should be proper systems to allow you to get it in-game if you don't buy. Right, and here's the thing, Mark. The reason that they hide it behind this randomized loot box system is because that's their defense. They could say, well, this game is not pay to win because it's random. You could spend as much money as you want, and you might not get the item that gets you ahead in the game. It's random who gets it. But it is pay to win because you need to still spend the money to even have the chance to get the item that gets you ahead in the game. So their defense of that is complete horseshit. And all it does is creates this mentality of spend until I get what I want, even if it costs me a ridiculous amount of money. When in reality, you're right. It should be, okay, that new character in the game costs $300. Holy shit. I'm not dropping $300 to get that new character, so I guess I'll never get them, right? And essentially what would happen is people would stop spending as much as they do, and you would have whales, is what they call them in these games, who do spend that. And when you have an upper class who has everything and everyone else has nothing, the game dies. So essentially what would happen is they would have to change the model to make everything more fair, but then that's not super profitable for them. So the whole gambling industry of gaming would go away, and we'd go back to how it was. You would actually have high-level, AAA design, expensive to make, but actually super duper quality games like God of War, like Red Dead Redemption 2. You'd get these games on the regular instead of these game developers slapping together unfinished pieces of donkey do and then putting microtransactions in to try to support that it's going to make money in the long run. Gaming would actually overnight be improved if we got rid of the loot box model or regulated it so that these game developers had to be honest about it and they wouldn't make money on it anymore. But that's the problem. It's become a burgeoning million, if not billion-dollar industry of this gambling in games. What do you do? Okay, then. Continuing on. Super Flash asked 2 different questions. First question is... Oh, hold on. Someone just said there's another side of the argument. They tipped me $1. They said the other side of the argument is that modern AAA game companies need the microtransactions to offset the game development costs because the consumer is always demanding better and bigger games. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Because look at God of War. 0 microtransactions, game of the year. Right? And it sold like hotcakes. It's a complete and utter cop-out. What it is greed. It's, we don't want to take a chance on having to make a good game and then it doesn't sell to the point where we're multi-billionaires. That's all it is. It's greed. It's these companies not realizing that they can't have an insane cash cow with every fucking game they put out. They have to put out a library of good games that builds up a reputation so that people will buy all the games from their studios like it used to be. It used to be when you buy a game from Capcom, you knew you were getting a great game no matter what. Now, oh, this is the one that's shitty and has microtransactions in it. This is the one that's a AAA game that has no microtransactions and is good. Didn't used to be like that. It used to be every game was good out of these major game publishers and creators, but it's not like that anymore because they all went easy mode. They saw the big money train rolling in with the microtransactions and they took the easy way out instead of actually wanting to put in the time and dedication to make good games. And now, if they get regulated, they're all going to get fucked in the ass for it, and they deserve it for being lazy and greedy. Vincent just cheered. He said, Mario Kart Tours is another gambling nightmare. I have not played it yet. I don't know anything about it, but I would assume there's an insane amount of microtransactions, being that it's a free-to-play game from Nintendo. So, okay. Now we get to Super Flash's questions. He asked 2 questions. My nose is itching. That was not his first question. My nose is just itching out of nowhere. I don't want to sneeze. Okay. His first question is, would you consider making a tips goal for a frog aquarium in 2020? It would be so cool if you did. I'm sure everyone would be mad keen for it. It would be a great way to repay the fans and frogas for all their support. 2 answers to this. Number 1, it would be incredibly irresponsible because I need money to get by and pay my bills. I don't have disposable income to put on something frivolous like that. That's number 1. Number 2, my cat would go crazy chasing frogs in the aquarium and knock it over and try to attack them all day. So the answer is no and no. Second part of your question, he says, you, Wings of Redemption, and Rich from ReviewTechUSA are my favorite content creators, and it pains me to see you guys don't see eye to eye, but that's your business. Enough said. Anything is in any... In saying that, though, would you... Okay. There's no... He didn't put any, like, commas or anything in the sentence making it completely unreadable. Now he's saying... In saying that, though, there should be a comma. Would you consider doing a weekly podcast with some of your mods, comma, or even do some more collabs with Brian? That would be so dope, dude. Okay, with no punctuation, that was almost impossible to read, but now I got it. First of all, I will say this. I have no problems with anyone until they fuck with me. I don't give a shit about other content creators. I don't. But if you fuck with me, now I'm going to have a problem with you. I didn't know who the hell Toby Turner was until he started advertising for his own YouTube channel on my videos on YouTube. And then I had a problem with the guy. Okay? Wings of Redemption, I never knew who the hell he was. And I guess at some point he had offered me to be on his podcast. I said, okay. I got sick and couldn't be on that podcast. And he told me that he would then reschedule and contact me at a future date about being on it again. He never did, went on his podcast and lied, said he did, and I blew him off and I was lying to him because I was back on my own content streams, and apparently I was just being a dickhead to him and blowing him off, okay? Then, later on, years later, he wanted apparently to do like Battlefield co-op with me. I said, okay, contact me at darksidefell@hotmail.com. He never did. Then he told his viewing audience that he did, and then I had blown him off again. So, why on earth would I ever want to deal with this guy who has now habitually twice lied about me in our interactions when there's no real benefit to dealing with a person like that? You know what I mean? Now, Rich from ReviewTechUSA, talk about, I'm sorry, a bipolar guy. Because sometimes he'll come out of nowhere and he'll make a video about me that seems very nice. 3 years ago, when something very embarrassing happened to me on the internet, this guy actually made a video that was kind of defending me and said something nice things about me. He was like, I think it was an honest mistake. This guy's obviously incredibly embarrassing. It's good that he's coming out publicly and saying that he admitted to it or whatever. He did a good thing, and I think he's going to be fine, right? Great, so this guy has my back. He's a good guy, right? Then he proceeds to make videos out of the blue. Why DSP Gaming is failing miserably and why Phil's business is going to go out of business soon. And it's like, huh? Like, so wait a minute. You just made a video saying I'll be fine, and then 2 months later you say I'm going out of business. First of all, how is it your business? Do you know any of my business? Do you know my financial? You see what I mean? This is the kind of guy that Rich is. He is a drama content creator. He creates drama in his videos with pure speculation to get clickbait views. That is who he is. At one point, he wasn't like that. Years and years ago, he used to be reliant on YouTube where he could do game tech reviews, and people came to him for that, and he realized that wasn't lucrative enough probably to pay his bills and make a living. Can you blame a guy for changing the kind of content that he makes if he needs to make a living? I guess not. But when you do it at someone else's expense, that's a bad thing. And the fact that this guy repeatedly brings my name up in his content all the time, completely speculating, no evidence of anything that he speculates about, just I want to talk out of my butt negatively about someone, okay? That's fucked up. And the thing is, when you look at Wings of Redemption, you look at this guy Rich, I've never done that stuff to them. Never did I, go out of my way to screw them over. When have I ever made a negative video about Rich or anything? Never. I've never done anything like that, ever. In my history, 11 years on YouTube, I've never done a damn thing like that. They go out of their way to do stuff about me at my expense to get a little boost on there. I'm sure Wings, I talk about Phil, and now I get a little bit of extra attention. I make him look bad. This is a good thing. Rich, I got a big views boost today because I talked about Darkside Phil the lol cow, and it's great that I got another view video because I had no other content to put out today because I'm a drama creator, so I create more drama, and it's good because it lines my pockets with fucking money. That's the kind of people they are, I don't know what else to say. I really don't. The thing that gets me, really, honestly, about Rich, and this is in particular about him, is that he's been the victim of really horrendous trolling. He has a family, I believe he has a wife and kid. He has a family that he needs to defend and needs to protect from trolling, and he's been the victim of really bad trolling over the years, where his personal family and stuff has been attacked supposedly, which I personally, as you guys know, I think that's really fucked up. I think that's horrendously fucked up that anyone would ever do that. But then he goes off and creates drama in his own videos that the people in those videos could then be negatively affected by people because he talked about them negatively. It's like, so you don't want to be the victim of trolling, but then you make videos that create trolls for other people. And somehow you're morally okay with this. You know what I mean? Like, talk about ultimate hypocrisy. That's the core, that's the definition of hypocrisy, is I only create controversy on my channel for views and to make money for myself, but then on everyone else's behalf, everyone else is negatively affected, but then when I'm negatively affected by trolling, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. How dare you people, leave me alone. That's fucked up in my opinion, but that's just, that's my honest opinions. I would never deal with those two. I would just not. At this point, why on earth would I want to deal with people who have gone out of their way to make me look bad when I've never done a damn negative thing to them? That's like asking for fucking trouble. Can you imagine? You're asking for fucking trouble. All right? If you do that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, your second half of your question, Super Flash, was about would I do a collab podcast or whatever. Honestly, I don't see a reason to do a podcast. Reason being, I talk to you guys every day about everything that I want to talk about on my pre-stream, during my gameplay streams. Why would I want to do a podcast that recovers the same thing I've already talked about, except for the fact that maybe not everyone watches every stream that I do? So what I'm dabbling the idea about is that maybe once a quarter, like let's say in January, I do a video of podcast style where I cover, here's the stuff coming up in the next few months I'm interested in gaming, here's the stuff going on in my personal life that I'd like to discuss and disclose to all of you guys, and do maybe Q&A, do this kind of a podcast so once a quarter, people know what's going on with me, they can get caught up. If you haven't seen every stream, maybe this is the video you watch, or the stream you watch. But I wouldn't want to do a regular podcast, because then what is there to talk about on my streams interactively with you guys if I'm doing a podcast as well. It would be like double dipping. You see what I mean? So the answer there is probably no. All right. A few contributions came in here. The Real Flash did a 1,000-bit cheer. He says, do I plan on playing it Doom Eternal? Rest in peace and tear, bro. Oh, rip and tear, bro. That's the catchphrase of Doom. Rip and tear. I read it completely wrong. It's not rest in peace. Yes, Real Flash. Absolutely. I am playing that in, is it November? Yes, the end of November. It's probably going to be the last big major release of 2019, quite frankly. And absolutely 100% I'm playing it. Can't wait because I love Doom 2016. Then I got a insulting $5 tip trying to delve into my personal life. That, again, is all pure speculation, has no basis in any kind of reality, so I will ignore it. Ace did a 50-bit cheer and says, I don't necessarily agree with your point about ReviewTechUSA being bipolar. He agreed with you in the first example. He disagreed with you in the second. That's not being bipolar. That's simply changing opinions. No, Ace, what I'm saying is, if this guy is like, man, I really think that Phil will make it no matter what, and I support him, and it's messed up that stuff happens to him, then he's the person who talks the shit that causes negative stuff to happen to me. That's being bipolar. Oh, I support that guy. I wish him the best. 2 months later, here's a drama video that makes Phil look bad so that he'll get, you know, and this could possibly really negatively hurt him, but I don't give a fuck because I made $1 making the video. So in reality, what you said 2 months ago was completely irresponsible and lying. You don't care about me. You don't care about me doing well, because then 2 months later, you make a video that's negative about me that hurts me, so obviously it's just about you. And that's this essence with Rich. It's always about him. It's about him getting ahead, him getting the view, him making the buck, and everyone else getting hurt at his expense, much like all these drama creators on the internet. That's what they do. Make videos at the expense of everyone fucking else. And if I make a clickbait title with a clickbait thumbnail and clickbait to make a buck, I don't give a fuck. And that's what they do every fucking day. That's not what I do. Okay. Crimson Yokai resubscribed for 6 months. Thank you, Crimson Yokai. Jeebus, excuse me, tip me $1. Says, so Toby Turner actually chose to advertise on your channel specifically. How is that even possible? I feel like he didn't have a say in that. No. I didn't say that. I never said Toby Turner said, oh, I want to advertise on Dark Side Phil's channel. What Toby Turner did, he participated in an ad campaign for a video game where he knew that that ad campaign would contain a giant plug segment for his own channel in it, and that it would go on other gaming YouTubers' videos. He actively chose to participate in an EA advertisement campaign knowing that that would happen because he filmed the fucking segment. I'm just filming a plug segment for my own channel that you're never going to use, right? No, he knew it was going to go in that ad. He knew those ads were going on gamers' videos. He knew what he was doing. He's not a dummy. He knew he was making a buck on the backs of others. Philly Bug Guy cheered and said, why do you think so many people in entertainment are two-faced and backstabbing? I never even said that. I never made that pronunciation. I've addressed 2 people on the stream so far today, and those are the 2 people who I speak against. I'm not going to make a generalization against everyone. I have 2 people who I've addressed, and that's it today. Okay, continuing on. This is the final forum question, then we move on to Twitter questions. BlackSpawn89 says, I almost said cheered. BlackSpawn89 says, for a vast majority of games that you play, you seem to celebrate or constantly mention that the game is almost over or that it is another stream or so before the game ends, especially for longer games like Yakuza game or JRPG. You would tweet out how close you are in the finishing the game practically each post-stream tweet. Does being a full-time streamer mean that you enjoy finishing a game and that you look forward to ending the game, especially a playthrough that goes on for weeks, if not months? I find myself in a similar spot and constantly wondering what the game is going to end, when the game is going to end, and rather than pleading with myself that I don't want a said game to end due to the quality and thrill alone. I'm wondering, why do a lot of gamers, including yourself, look forward to how much longer a game will go on for rather than not want a great game to end as soon as possible? I think there's a misconception, all right? When I'm saying, oh, we're in the end game now of Final Fantasy IX, or this is the possible 1 to 2 last final streams that I will ever do, and it's the end of Judgment, right? That's not what I don't mean. Like, I'm celebrating that the game's over and thank God, let's get it over with. I don't play games at length that I don't enjoy. You see what I mean? But for some people, Judgment I played starting in late June, and I didn't finish it until late August. or was it early September? I don't even remember. That's how long I played the game. For some people, for a game to drag on for 2 months is a giant endeavor, especially for someone like me who I used to be known as the guy who beats games right away, and now I've got ongoing playthroughs that are 40 to 80 hours long that last 2 to 3 months. See what I mean? Definitely changed up the style that I was doing there for content creation. So when I say these things, the reason I'm saying them is so people understand that maybe we're going to have time for something different, especially because there are people who constantly ask, well, Phil, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? And I'm like, well, you know, I got this game I've been playing for 2 months and it's still going, so we got to kind of wait. I don't want to start too many new projects when I got so many ongoing projects. You see what I mean? And essentially that's what it is. It's not that I'm in a rush to finish, but I don't want to start too much and get inundated with so many playthroughs and projects that I never finish anything. See what I mean? That would be bad. Imagine if I had 10 playthroughs going and I would play each game once a week, and now I never finish anything, and everyone's just frustrated at me for never finishing any games, and now I can also not start any new games because I'm playing too many. So that's the situation I want to avoid. Now, some people like to savor a game. Man, I want to play it as long as possible because I really love the game, and other people are just in a big rush to finish. Old school Phil used to be in a rush to finish games because the more quickly I finished one, I could get on to the next, and that meant more day one views, more new playthrough views, more excitement, more hype around my channel because Phil's the new game guy, and he plays the new games constantly, right? I'm not like that anymore. I've changed, I've evolved, I'm not doing that crap anymore, all right? And I mean that, like, I don't want to be that guy who is only playing a game because I'm trying to make a buck on it. I want to be the guy because I'm playing a game because I'm enjoying it and I'm getting some kind of value. So even if I don't particularly like the game, maybe that's an interactive stream where, for example, Blackout, that I played for a year, even though the last couple of months there, I didn't really enjoy the game that much, we still had a lot of fun with the interactions we had during that session, right? And then finally, when it got to the point where I wasn't enjoying it, I gave it the axe. And that's how I'm going to treat games moving forward. But no, please don't misunderstand me. When I tweet out, oh, it's the next to last session, or we're near the end game now, and it looks like this is the end. Number one, I'm trying to notify people who maybe were wondering when the game's going to end. It is coming. And number two, I'm trying to let people know, hey, if you've been waiting for the new stuff coming, it could come soon because I'm about to end something that's been a long, ongoing project. It's not all about the fact that I was dying to finish the game and get on to the next one, okay? All right, Philly Buckeye Cheers. I only said that because I see it a lot on the radio, too. I guess he was talking about entertainment people being two-faced. I wouldn't know about that either, but thank you. Real Flash did a 300-bit cheers. I love you, dude. Can't wait till you rip and tear. Back to the single-player stuff. Waiting for more thoughts about the gaming industry insights. Thank you for the support today, Real Flash. Appreciate that. All right. Before we get to Twitter questions, what I'd like to do is give a shout-out to my patrons, to those who still head over to patreon.com/DarkSidePhil and support me on a monthly basis. Anyone interested? The reason Atlas Telemon got his question answered first on the show and in depth was because he was a patron of mine. That's one of the perks of being a Patreon, so please give it a look if you're interested. So shout out to the following ongoing patrons of mine. Thank you so much for the support. We got X86, Villix, Fallen 1570, Big Tone 995, Infinite 55, Casey Wood, Planet Jeff, Thomas McDonald, Sean Given, Last Rambo 341, Uncommon Sense, QPZ MWN, David Denmark, Stormforce Gamer, Richie 7, Show Kreos, Steven Slater 007, and Michael Denealt. Thank you very much for that. So what I think I'll do now that I'm actually looking that we're almost 50 minutes in part 2, let's take our final break of the stream. I'll come back for the final segment. That'll be Twitter questions, and then we'll take questions from the stream chat to end the show. Sounds good? All right, guys, let's take our final break. If you're watching on stream, about a 10-minute break. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's just going to be another part. Okay, thank you, guys. I'll be back shortly with more. And the big conclusion.